You see the program there. We've got an excellent set of panelists coming from different fields, and I'd like to welcome them here now. Miikka Moa, Edna's Goodwill Ambassador, welcome.
Thank you.
Maria Hyppönen, my partner in crime. Katja Freeman, the floor is yours. And last but not the least, Niina Erampalo. Thank you. There's another microphone coming up. Let's do a short round of introductions, just who you are and where you come from.
My name is Niina Erampalo. I'm coming from Sport Institute Kisakeskus, and I work as a sport instructor and a gymnastics teacher.
I'm Katja Freeman from Liberia, but I have stayed in Finland for 7 years, and I organize sport and other activities for the African US Scholar.
Hi, I'm Maria Hyppönen. I was playing handball. I'm 13 times Finnish champion, and right now I quit the player, and I like to progressive immigrants woman of sports. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Miikka. Currently, I'm doing anti-racism work for a few different associations in different forms. However, I'm a former professional basketball player. I played for about 10 years in different European countries, but I retired about 4 years ago. So that's it in a nutshell. That's hard in a few words to explain
Well done.
myself.
Well done.
There we go.
So, we have had a lot of discussions about quotas. Do we need them? What are they for? Why separate different groups of people? I would like to ask the panel, do you think that it is useful or meaningful to separate, first of all, women's sports clubs and men's, or sport groups, and then also about immigrant women? The same thing, should it be included or separated at first? Anybody want to have a go?
Okay, in my opinion, I think we need both. I think we need the separate groups. It's sometimes you get the support from your own ethnic groups, but also the mixed groups.
Just to add to that, for cultural background and dealing with immigrant women, not everyone, like especially the women. For me, it is better to start on the women and before coming to the men. Remember that African women, some has never been doing sport before, like myself, and coming from a different culture, moving to this country, you have to start. It's something like you starting from the roots. So it's better we start from the women first than the men.
Yes, like Katja says, men and women migrants should be a little bit in the different positions, because men they have a little bit free moving and sports to do, and for women and girls they have a little bit different position because they have families, they need to care about homes, and also girls they need to support men from everybody. I think so. Thank you.
Yes, I think the goal should be to eventually have multicultural groups, in the sense that is it on?
Yes.
Essentially to have groups where it's both Finns and immigrant women of immigrant background, because I do feel through my own experiences that is the best way of integrating when you actually get to know Finns. But the thing is that when you are in a group of a vulnerable group, such as a migrant woman, you're not just you experience social exclusion a lot of times in many different areas, not only your ethnic background, but also educational background usually, or socioeconomic situations. So I do feel like initially it's probably the safest way to it's the safest group to go into is when you have peers of your ethnic
And
background.
then you would gradually integrate them.
Absolutely.
Slowly. Okay.
Absolutely.
If the audience, by the way, I forgot to say yes, there's a lot of agreement happening. If you want to ask questions, give it a go, and I'll run with the microphone to find the people. First one already. Good. My daily exercise.
That's good for you because you're a man. Well, somebody just said in the audience that for African women, most of them have not been doing sport before. I would definitely disagree with that, because African women dance. They love dancing. They do sport without even noticing that, the movement they are doing is sports. So think about all the dance you've been doing in your own country and all the movements. African women are very happy people. They move all the time. And they are all those walks. Remember, in most African countries, we don't even have the trams and metro, and people walk a lot. So that itself is exercise.
We don't clap. Sorry,
Can I? Okay, I disagree with her, and I agree with her. I'm speaking on like African moving to just in Europe. Being in Africa was very, very healthy and physically fit. But moving in Europe, like Finland, you sit in the room from school as an immigrant. What are you going to do next? Eat manna, eat rice, look at the TV, and why the children are out there. You understand my point? So being in Finland as 7 years, I've never done sport. So I find it so different. We in Africa, we have been doing sport and been doing things, but in Finland, it's very, very different. It's like we are starting over. That's why I said, I make my statement on that, please.
But I would like you to be specific when you are giving a comment.
Okay.
To be specific. If you are talking about Finland,
Yeah.
then mention Finland.
Yeah.
Or if you are talking about Helsinki in particular, then mention Helsinki.
Okay,
Then we all know that you are being
yeah,
specific.
I'm just talking about moving in Finland, and I have seen that it's so hard for all immigrants. From school, you are in the house and nothing else. The children are out there playing, and you are there as a mother watching TV. You go look. Some goes to hospital and say, I say because
What has happened to you?
yeah, they don't know what happens to my body. They don't know. They have not seen mine. Then you don't know what is happening to yourself. So go out there and do sport. Then the doctor will know what is happening to you.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to further continue to my second question. What do you find is the complicated part in? Is it accessibility? Is it gaining knowledge? Where do you find out if you can do sports? Where is it free? Who's organizing it? What do you find? What are the main things that are not there? What is the thing that you want to have in order to be able to do that?
I was at a seminar in the beginning of the year as a moderator in your role, Miikka, and I remember there was one lady who had moved to Finland, and she was American. She had moved to Finland and wanted to do sports, but she said her main issue, or the biggest problem for her, was that the points of contact with Finns are so far and few between. So they will be like at the immigration office perhaps, or then Kela, which is so that the points of contact with the Finns are so far and few between. Yet there is no information about sports at these places if you are interested. in sports. So even if you have that will, there is not necessarily information at these points of contact where every immigrant will come in contact with the Finnish society. So I definitely feel information is a huge part, because there are options out there. There are associations who are providing opportunities for sports and other organizations. So for me, the main thing is information.
That's true.
Yeah, excuse me, please, sorry. Just to add to her discussion, and I speaking on the lower level, we have 4 or 5 different classes of immigrant moving to Finland. I want you guys to know this today. Some immigrant doesn't even know how to get there. They don't know the concept of these things. And the Finnish society, when you move in Finland, you have integration for 3 years or 5 years. Every immigrant, or it depends on your cases. Okay, coming to this point, and some are traumatized, some are coming with different problems. Why coming to Finland? A Finnish social worker will give you all the information, but are they taking it in? No. So, and how will they know they have a sporting ground here? No one wants to know this. The society is giving the information, but they are not taking it in. Like, I speaking of myself. It's not that the city is not giving you the information. They give you the information, but we don't know the importance of it. In Africa, your own sport there is different. You walk, you dance, you do everything. But here, it's something that on paper, you have to go through the process. You don't know it. And if you don't have someone to do it, or you as a single mother, you will not do it. So you just sit in though. So the information on this, like organizing events, having, like, reaching to the poor people. That's why I'm ready fighting for. The message should reach to the real people who needs it.
Nina?
Yeah, one way to increase the problem of the information, I think, is the peer mentoring. So through education, you can really help the people in your own ethnic groups. So a kind of step by step, if you just increase the information and the acknowledgement, you can really go further with the thing. And if you think about the education, it's really small steps to do through the education. Just what to do, where to do, how to start, what kind of clothes you need. Very, very simple questions we can really sort out with the education.
Somebody want to ask a question? Was it okay? Yeah. In the back. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to make a comment to Michelle. What she said is actually true. Like, on the weekend of Finland, if you want actual information, like my father brothers, he's a police director. He was in another country. So the first advice he gave me that if you go to that country that you cannot find information, go to the police. And when I get to the police, I say, look, my uncle told me this. I went such place, I want to get some addresses, but I asked the Finnish police, they don't know it. So when I get to the police, I say, can you show me this place, that place? The police said, no, we don't know. I said, ask your colleagues. Then after the man came, he said, yes, the office is right at the back there. Go left, go right. I begin to ask the Finnish people. It is very true, because Finland had information, but it was very small. But now, I'm glad that Finland had a lot of information where all Africans can gain access to it. Then back to Haja, to the social office. Just imagine, if I'm a French-speaking person, the information is in Finnish. It is difficult for me to understand. I expect at the social office there is a information desk they can explain to you from the Finnish text to English, which will make things easier. But yet, a lot of papers are printed in Finland. They expect you just to take and read. As the other lady just said on the right side of her, just saying that there should be places where they can teach people. You go there, they tell you these things. It's very easy for us. Yes, sure.
There was
Somebody.
another comment at the back. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.